Okay, let's talk about the blitzes at a 4-3 over. We've already brushed on the personnel a little bit, but I'd say the defensive ends actually aren't that important because we like to send 5 and 6 more often than sending 4. Excuse me. And I like to have a fast outside linebacker here. We'll just put Tranquil. He's like 85 speed. It's going to be good enough. Anything closer to 90 is really going to scream. This can be your user. This is very important. Have someone fast. Jatavis Brown, 88 speed. And then I like to put Derwin James over here at outside corner on the right because he's going to be able to play multiple routes because of his zoned out. Don't get me wrong. He'll be very good here at strong safety too, but I think he's kind of wasted because if we send 6, we don't want to waste someone good in coverage on a blitz. So we'll put Jalen Watkins, 90 speed. Desmond King up top, very good zone player. Casey Hayward, very good zone player on the other side. So we'll blitz 3. And I'll try to go through this pretty quickly. We have a 4-man, a 5-man, and a 6-man out of this. No, don't get me wrong. They're not. The 4-man isn't like coming clean. Like it's a shed defense. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you the 6-man first. So we're going to press. So Y, down on the left stick. D-pad left, left stick left. Shift your D-line to the left. I don't know why that guy moved. D-pad left again, right stick up to slant them outside. Double tap Y or triangle. Brings up our secondary menu. Select A. That's going to be our safety that's in the box on the line of scrimmage. And then we're going to do right stick down for a blitz. After you do that, you only have 2 more steps. You're going to see how quick this is in just a second. LB, RB. They're now in contain. The last thing you're going to do, well, for me personally, I like to spread my linebackers. You don't have to. That's going to be D-pad right, left stick up. You don't have to do that. I just like to do it. Last thing you're going to do, hover right here. Blitz him. That's it. That's all you got to do. So, looks like we're sending 7. Truth be told, we're sending 6.5. We're occupying the center. And what that's going to do is allow us to get one free versus a blocked running back every single time, no matter what they do. You'll see why. And you'll see that it's kind of cheating because we're just occupying an offensive lineman for half a second, and that allows the pass protection to break down. We waste the center. He ends up double teaming the defensive tackle. Running back will take the blitzing safety, and the outside linebacker comes free. So yes, 6.5 because I don't consider it a 6-man if we have to occupy the center, which means we can't just use her where we want immediately. As you can see, there's some things open, but they're going to have to make a quick decision. And believe it or not, if we have the luxury of having a zoned out player here, both these routes are pretty much taken away. They will make the completion on this, but I'll show you what happens. Like, I'll just throw that return route real quick. Okay. Oops. My bad. That was actually really slow for me. I'll show you a quick setup in just a second. Actually, you know what? I don't want to send it like this because I want to show you the return route. So as you can see, Derwin James really comes down and makes a good play. But, I mean, that's like a best case scenario for them. They just make a very quick read. And you're going to see that they can't do that because we're going to send the 5-man to complement it. I'll show you, like, for instance, here's the 5-man or the 5.5, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to see that we have the seam flat there to take that away. And as you can see, the pressure, I mean, the 5-man personally is my favorite because if the running back's on the other side, we can still come in. Now, it's not going to come in every time. Sometimes a running back makes like a superhero play and just like gets over there. But like to me, that's like as good as it's going to get as far as having pressure on the quarterback without actually getting there. But he does get that sack sometimes. So what I want to show you is sometimes it does come in versus a tight end and running back blocking on the same side. Hopefully it does, but I'm not going to count on it because it's probably like 40 to 50% of the time maybe. And that was like bad because I got chop blocked. I got stuck in the offensive line. But When you send the 6-man, you can't expect it to come in versus a 7-man sometimes, as long as it's a tight end and a running back on the same side. If it's against bunch or something, it's not going to work. Don't try it against bunch. In fact, never come out in this formation against bunch. You won't have enough speed to compete, and you just won't break the 7-man pass pro. So, what I want to first show you is how quick the setup actually is. Many of you are probably like, oh, this is taking forever. Let's go ahead and reset it. I'm going to do this as quick as I can. And it's set up. As you can see, we're good to go. You're going to be able to do that before they snap you. Especially since we have auto flip off, and we can just do the same setup every single time. 6-man, then we're going to do the 5-man, then I'll show you the 4-man. So that comes in. Here is the 5-man. Block the running back. You're going to see that, we do get good pressure. Sometimes he will come in clean, I promise. Practice mode is just crazy sometimes. They try to cheat you. And then the 4-man isn't much different. Just the same things we've been doing. And then crash up and then zone out the right linebacker or right of screen outside linebacker. So Tranquil, the guy who's been blitzing. D-pad right. D-pad right. Select X. And then I personally like to put him in a vert hook because he can actually bump that slot receiver. But you can do a hard flat if you want. And then this is optional. You don't have to do it, but I like to do it because it helps out our defensive tackles. I like to blitz him and then, do the same thing. So like 4.5 man. But it's not required. If you really want to play coverage, you just want to get back as soon as possible, you don't have to engage the center. You can just drop back. We have to make it look the same, though. We have to make everything look the same. So, for my sake, I like to do it with the 4.5 and then get back. And this is a very good look at what the shed D will look like. So when we engage the center, all it's going to do is ensure we're getting one-on-ones on the outside. And it's also going to help out our defensive tackle. Sometimes he will get an initial pass rush because he's one-on-one. So for instance, if we don't engage the center, what he's going to do is he's going to immediately help out number 66, the guy to the right of him. What can happen is sometimes we engage him for like half a second. We waste him for a second. And by that time that, he's ready to help on a double team, sometimes number 66 will be like 5 yards back, depending on what defensive tackle you have. So you can technically get 3 one-on-ones, at least for a short period of time. That's why I personally do it, but some of you might view getting back in coverage quicker as something that's more important. But at least no matter what, we're going to have those one-on-ones on the outside. That's the most important thing. We have Bosa and Ingram both one-on-one. Now, we don't have contains, but the good news is we're going to scare them with the 5 and 6 man pressure. That should keep them in the pocket. So when we send the 4, kind of takes them off guard. So that's going to be Will Blitz 3. Let's talk about Mike Will Blitz. So Mike Will Blitz is a blitz that I personally haven't even used in a game yet, but I wanted to give you guys a cover 0 blitz. And it will work because, it's the same thing we've been doing really. And it's a green dog blitz, I found out, which means if their tight end or running back stays in, assuming a computer defender is on the running back, then what's going to happen is they're going to blitz. If they block, they blitz. So you're always getting that one-man advantage. Okay, so the way we're going to set this up is we're going to press, same thing we've been doing. I like to shade outside. It might be a tell that it's a cover 0 or a man. I don't care. I want them to be shaded outside. So we're going to do Y, right stick to the right, and they're now shaded outside. After you do that, you're going to shift your line left. And then you're going to hover like we've been doing. And you have the option to either blitz him to occupy the center, or you can shoot out to the flats immediately to help out with a quick running back route. That's completely up to you. If they don't block the running back, even if they block the running back, this blitz is going to come in quick. They're going to have to block 7, but if they block 7, that safety that's in the box that's covering A is going to blitz. So let me show you. Let's go ahead and block. Let's block A. What you're going to see, Well, he's supposed to come in on the green dog blitz. Maybe it requires blocking both the running back and the tight end. This one's actually a quicker setup than the Will Blitz 3 because you don't have to. Make sure you shade outside, by the way. There we go. That's what we want. So that's what the green dog blitz looks like. We're going to have that safety coming in. So personally, this isn't my cup of tea because I think it's just too risky. I'm so annoyed with this cough. I'm sorry, guys. The safety comes in. Then we get the quick shed by Bosa. So I wouldn't consider this better than Buck Zero out of 3-4 odd. Simply because it's not quite as intimidating. It's not quite as screamy. Look at this big win here. I'm only showing this to you guys because some of you guys are crazy. You love your cover zero. Personally, I do like cover zero too, but I like to do it like once they're a little bit closer to my goal line. So like if they're on the 20 or the 15, then I can feel like I can get a little bit more risky. But you know, if they're this far back or like, you know, on their own side of the field, running cover zero to me is just such a bad idea because all it takes is a wheel route and, you know, them picking up your pressure and they're gone. So let me show you if you actually want to be risky. Sorry about my dogs. And you blitz and occupy the center here, you should be coming free against max protect here. Yeah, so, okay, that's kind of stupid looking, but what you're going to see is since we're occupying the center now, they block 7, and you're going to see what happens is we get outside linebacker coming free, and then once this safety sees, oh, my man stayed into block, boom, we're going to shoot in, and we're going to scream at him. So this is like, the green dog blitz is a good way of screaming at them even if they block 7. But you do have to occupy the center. Or I guess in this case it was the right guard. I didn't even notice him sliding over like that. But yeah, that's just if you want to get at them when they block 7. So Mike will blitz. It's an okay blitz. I personally won't be using it much. But I do think it has its use cases, and I think some of you guys who like pinch Mike Zero or pinch Buck Zero can take a liking to it out of a new formation. In fact, it does have a couple better features. I don't think pinch Mike Zero has the green dog ability, which means, you know, sending an extra man if they stay into block. So that's going to wrap it up for 4-3 over. Let's move on to the next formation.